Hello, this is Dr. Ray Ramirez from Lakeview Veterinary Clinic, helping your pet live the best life possible for as long as possible. And today what we're doing is we're starting with our puppies, because many of you who are there who are watching me on YouTube, probably have a new puppy. You found this, and it's like, how do I train my puppy to not go to the bathroom in my house? And we've got a simple way on how to do that in just 3 days, guaranteed. And we're going to teach your puppy how to sleep in and not have an accident. So let's see how we get started with that. First thing we need to do is we want to take advantage of our puppy's natural instincts. So they have two that we're going to take advantage of with this particular training exercise. One is not going to the bathroom in their own bed, and the second one is after they wake up, that's when they've got to go potty. And after they eat, that's when they've got to go potty. So I guess that's 3. But so we want to take advantage of their natural instinct not to wet their own bed, and after they wake up and after they eat, they're going to need to go to the bathroom. So how do we take advantage of those things to make it easiest for the puppy? So our goal with all of this really is to give the puppy the easiest chance to be successful and minimize the chances to make mistakes. And so that's why we talk about using the kennel. Okay? And this is great for a puppy, no matter the puppy's size. So we have the little one or the big one. The kennel is a great way to do that. So let me show you here. I have a prop. So this is a kennel. So you've probably seen these before. This one's, I don't know what it is, 18, 24 inches by about 12 inches tall here. It's got the little opening in there. We've just got newspapers in here, but you can put a little bed, little blanket in here so that they come to think of it. A puppy this size, this is probably about the right size, although if you look, our goal is for them to only be able to stand up, turn around, and lay back down, and there's incentive to hold it, versus if we're real itty-bitty, what can happen is the puppy can think, oh, I'm going to go pee over here, and go lay over here, and there's no incentive to hold it. So how do we improve that with this particular kennel? So what you want to do is get another prop, just a box of some sort. This is actually our kitty play box. That's why we have all these little slots in here. But this is perfect. So with a little guy like this, because you don't want to get like 2 or 3 different crates as your puppy gets older, so we get one for their adult size, and that we're used to if they're going to go traveling with us, and this is great for that. But for our potty training, it's a little bit too big. So what we do is take a box like this and put it in here. You have to stick your tongue out to get it in properly. So now we're blocking off that back section. Can you kind of see that? So from this side, I've only got from about my finger forward as far as room for the pup. So now the puppy comes in here, only has enough room to turn around and lay back down, and now he's got incentive to hold it. Okay? So this is what we're going to call short-term confinement. Okay? So usually when they're really, really young, and this will depend on the age, so we're going to talk less than, like, say, 8 or 9 weeks of age. We want to use this short-term confinement, probably no more than about 2 hours. Okay? If we've got longer than that, because we work half a day, or we can, nobody can get home till lunch, or maybe we can't even get home at lunch, then we want to use something that we call long-term confinement. So let me describe a little bit about what that is using a fancy little dry erase board here. So we've got our kennel here with our dog. See how good that drawing is? That's because I stuck my tongue out. So this is where our kennel for the short-term confinement. So we've got incentive not to potty in our own bed, and then we're going to go outside to wherever outside is. But let's say we can't really get home until maybe 7 or 8 or 9 hours in the day, which is very common. So that's a little bit harder for a real youngster to do. Now some of them may, but again, we want to give them the best chance to be successful. We still want to take advantage of their natural instinct not to go potty in their own bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a long-term confinement that's 3 times the size of our short-term confinement area, okay? And it's got to be oblong like this, okay? If you've got one of those round things, that's not going to do in this particular case here, okay? So, I promise I'll scrub before surgery. So we want something that's a rectangular type of thing. And this doesn't automatically mean the puppy's going to go over here and not over here. So how do we do that? We do want to, before we get started with showing you that, what we also want to do is in this 1/3 over here, we want to put the substrate or the substance that you're trying to train your puppy to. So if we're going to be going outside in the grass, we want to get a little artificial turf. If you're actually on a high-rise, you can put artificial turf there. Or if you're training a puppy, maybe for seeing eye or hearing ear folks, and you have to train the puppy to go on any surface, you can use one of those like hardyback or concrete type boards, and that can work very well. So what are we going to do, though, to help make sure that they know home is here? What we're going to do is give them a hobby, and then we're going to make sure that that little hobby stays here. So this is a Kong, K-O-N-G type of chew toy. This is a great toy. It does a couple of things very nicely. First of all, it's got this little hollow thing, so we can put some peanut butter. I like to save some of your dog food, your puppy food, put that in there. You can even freeze it so that it takes them a little bit of time. So now they're getting rewarded for chewing on the right thing in our little short-term confinement area, and we're also minimizing the chance to do the wrong thing, which is chewing on your furniture legs, which obviously we don't want to do. But if we just toss this in here, the puppy's going to carry this all over, and there's no kind of sense that this is home. So how do we do that? So what we do is we get some fancy little twine from our local Ace Hardware store. The key to this is two things. First of all, you want a little twine that you can cut off. I don't know how long this is. That's not critical. But so we're going to tether this inside our little short-term crate. So that's the other nice thing about the Kong. It's got this little hole here. You can see I'm sliding this through. And if you don't stick your tongue out, this takes a lot longer. So now we've got something that we can hold on to with this puppy thing. And then we're going to put this in our short-term confinement. And so what we can very easily do is use this with our crates. So, excuse me, puppies, we'll move you aside here. So we've got our little crate here. We're getting this set up. In here, we've got our little peanut butter and puppy food Kong all ready to go in here. We stick it on here, and then we tie it. Whoops, I guess you can't see that side, can you? So we tie it through here with a little knot. So now the puppy, our little puppy here, he's playing with this, but now he can only go so far with this. So this is kind of home. This is his little play area. And then if he's got to go potty, he's going to be like, oh, I want to go potty farther away from that home. That's their natural instinct, and they go over here. The reason a lot of puppies, when they're all together, you see them at the pet store or the shelter or whatever, the reason they're going all over, and they really don't have a sense of where home is. They may be going the opposite place in their big pen, but then the other puppy over there, he thinks this is home, and so he's going over here, so that's how they end up all standing over. So you get a nice chew toy like this that gives them incentive because it's got treats in there, it's got food in there, and that becomes home for them. And then they're naturally going to go over there. So now we're doing a couple of things. We're teaching them we don't go here. We are going on the surface that we're trying to. So again, if you've got more concrete or a deck that they're going to have to go on, you can teach them with that. You can put some of that material there. So they're getting used to that on their own. So then you come home and you do that, and then you do your natural stuff where, you know, you got to go potty, then we go out. Then when we are home, let's say in the evening, we're going to be in our crate a lot only during the training phase. Like I said, just 3 days. So get a routine every day. Then we go out, we go to the potty area, whether you're using a puppy pad or something in the house, that's great. If we're trying to do outside in a little grassy area, that's fine too. The key is you need regular routine. So always at the same time, always to the same place, unless we're in our long-term confinement. And that way they'll more quickly pick up on what you're trying to do. So let's say we have a normal, say, 8 to 5 type of job, and obviously you can modify this. So we do everything in the morning. We wake up first thing in the morning. We'll talk about sleeping in a moment. And so we wake up, we go from our short-term confinement out to go potty. We reward them. Remember, we go back to our video on the reward. We look at them, talk to them, touch them. You don't have to worry about a treat if you don't have it handy, but if you do the other 3, that's great. Then we come back and go back in short-term confinement as we're getting ready in the morning. If we're out and about, then we have a chance to chew on the wrong things instead of our little chew toy here and get into trouble. Okay, so we want back in the short-term confinement as we're getting ready for the morning. Then we can come out, and then maybe if now is this feeding time, so we can feed them. Then we go right out again to go potty. This is where you kind of learn a little bit about the puppy. If you know he's normally got to go have a bowel movement, and he stands there and he's playing and getting distracted, no more than about 60 seconds you stand there. If he's not going because he's distracted, the longer you stand out there is not going to make them more likely to go. So what you do is you come back, and then again we're going to take advantage of our little short-term confinement. Put them in there. Now don't get too involved with something else, because you know they've got to go because they just ate. And so what will happen is you close them up, and they're pretty soon going to be like, oh, that's right, I have to go bathroom, I got to go potty. And so then you can take them and go back outside. Again, just stand there, don't look at them, talk to them, or touch them to encourage. Just stand there, give them a real short leash so they don't have a long way to run around, and then when they go, then you tell them, good puppy, look at them, talk to them, touch them. If you want to give them a command, like park it, like what a lot of the seeing eye dog folks do, you do that. So we start that word association, which we're going to talk about again in a moment when we do the sleeping in thing. So we do that. We come back in, and again, when you do the feeding, when you do the puppy playtime, so if this is our puppy playtime, after we go to the bathroom, that's fine, that 10-15 minutes of active playing. Maybe we're throwing a little tennis ball or this little thing, and the puppy's playing that, or we're running around doing different things that puppies do. That's fine. And then we come back in as you're getting breakfast ready for the rest of the family as they're getting off to the day. We go back in the short-term crate. Maybe we use our little Kong again, filled with a little bit of peanut butter, so we're giving them a hobby. So going into the crate is a fun thing. It's not like, oh my gosh, I don't get to do anything fun anymore. And so, but then you also want to then, right before you go, of course, give them a chance to go out and go potty, come back in for the rest of the day, and then the same type of thing later in the evening. We come home, we go out and go potty. If that's our playtime, then we do our playtime. We get a nice routine established. When we're outside playtime, that can be as long as you want, but when we're out going potty, should really be no more than about 4 to 5 minutes total. 2 to 3 minutes out there waiting for them to go. If they don't go, they come back in. If they didn't go, then don't get too involved because you need to get them back out again to go potty. Okay? So that's how we do that. So as I'm looking at this video, this is already a little bit too long, so we will do our sleeping in with Pavlov in the next video. So this is Dr. Ray Ramirez from Lakeview Veterinary Clinic, helping your puppies and pets live the best life possible for as long as possible, getting off to a great start. And if you have a regular veterinarian, ask them about these things because they have a lot of knowledge about that. And if you don't have a regular veterinarian, we'd love to see you at Lakeview. Hello, this is Dr. Ray Ramirez from Lakeview Veterinary Clinic, helping your pets live the best life possible for as long as possible. And today we're really excited because we're talking about two things with new puppies that are a big problem, and we've got a simple 3-day potty training, guaranteed, if you follow it to the letter, and how to teach your puppy how to sleep in. So let's jump right in. So first thing we're going to do for the potty training, first thing you need to do is get a kennel. So let me show you a kennel that I would suggest. Cut.